The internet can be a strange, unpredictable place. Some people go viral for their sheer talent, while others for reasons we can't quite explain. Today we delve into the bizarre and often unsettling world of two such people. Chris Chan, often called the most documented person on the internet, and Joshua Block, also known as World of T-shirts. These two individuals with vastly different backgrounds, yet united in their online notoriety. What makes them tick, and how do they become infamous? And what does their story tell us about the internet itself? Part 1: An Introduction to Chris Chan. Chris Chan, whose full name is Christine Weston Chandler, has been a fixture of internet culture for well over a decade. Born in 1982 in Virginia, Chris was thrust into the spotlight due to their webcomic Sonichu, which is a mashup of Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu. What started as a niche interest turned into something else entirely, as Chris Chan's life was put under the microscope by a mixture of fans, trolls, and curious onlookers. Chris's content is notable for its unapologetically personal nature. They documented their life, relationships, and creative work with a level of openness that is rare. This, inevitably, drew in a host of curious spectators, and as the years went on, the narrative took darker turns, with Chris being subject to harassment, trolling campaigns, and eventually making headlines for shocking personal incidents. Part 2: Introduction to World of T-shirts. On the other side, we have Josh, also known as World of T-shirts. Josh's story is a bit different. He gained traction on TikTok for his frequent uploads of public singing, dancing, and often awkward interactions in spaces like Times Squares. His presence is defined by high-energy content and his love for certain songs, especially Empire State of Mind. Unlike Chris Chan, whose rise to internet infamy was more accidental, Josh seems to embrace the chaos of the digital world. He's openly looking for fame. What he's received is a mix of admiration, bewilderment, and outright trolling. Part 3: Common Threads. What makes these two individuals comparable? At first glance, Chris Chan and World of T-shirts seem worlds apart, yet both have drawn massive attention for their willingness or inability to shy away from the public eye. Their unfiltered approach to life combined with their distinct personalities has made them targets of online fascination and cruelty. One common thread is the phenomenon of trolls and unwarranted attention. The internet has not been kind to either of these individuals. Chris's life, from family issues to romantic pursuits, was scrutinized mercilessly, while Josh has faced harassment during live streams and in person. There is a thin line between support and exploitation. One characteristic unique to Josh is his alcoholism. This alcoholism is the fuel for the public interactions which gain Josh and the people around him lots of attention and views. See, Joshua's alcoholism is very dangerous in two ways. The first is the damage the large quantities of alcohol are doing to his body, and the second are the consequences of his drunken actions. But sadly, looking at Josh's TikTok views, they only come when he's drinking, which leads to the bad people around him, the two main examples being a man named Quinn and Mr. Based, another TikToker, to enable Josh to drink much more than he should. Josh, in some of his videos, looks physically ill, and this can be attributed to the alcohol. Part 4: The Internet's Role. But what does these two individual stories tell us about the internet itself? Chris Chan and World of T-shirts reflect the dark side of internet fame, the side where attention doesn't always mean admiration. A rodent audience can be both a comfort and a danger. The internet is a stage, and Chris and Josh are players whose scripts have been largely written by the crowds. For Chris, the internet provided a platform that turned into a relentless, invasive presence, chronicling every detail of their life. For Josh, TikTok gave him a way to share his personality. The exposure led to moments of public humiliation and misunderstanding. Their lives have been picked apart, turned into memes, and used as entertainment for millions. Part 5: Public Reactions and Consequences. And what about the emotional consequences? Behind the screen, behind the moments that are replayed, mocked, or even celebrated, are real people with real vulnerabilities. This attention has led to personal crises, as both have struggled with isolation and the impact of constant, often critical attention. The questions we must ask ourselves is, what is our role in all of this? Are we contributing to a culture that preys on those who may be different or simply struggling to fit in? The story of Chris Chan and World of T-shirts is not just about their rise to infamy, it's a reflection of the audience that made it possible. At the end of the day, Chris Chan and Josh are reminders of how the internet can amplify anyone, for better or for worse. Their stories remind us that while it may be easy to laugh from behind a screen, there are always real human beings on the other side, deserving of empathy and respect. Perhaps the lesson here is that infamy is easy to create an image of an age of viral content, but the human cost is often overlooked.